Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to my review of tonight's edition of Smackdown. And tonight's Smackdown was from the same arena that Raw was at last night, which was the Talk and Stick Resort Arena in Phoenix, Arizona. And I'm also going to review the Mixed Match Challenge match after I review Smackdown. Also is going to be in this video. And I thought tonight's Smackdown, another week of Smackdown, another shitty show it was. Yeah, Smackdown was fucking shit tonight. Raw was much better last night. I really enjoyed Raw last night. It was a decent show. But Smackdown, it's just the same old shit. Same old shit that they do every week, and I'll get to that. And the show opened up with AJ Styles coming out. Renee Young was doing an interview with him about the Fatal 5-Way at Fastlane. AJ says, he is controlled of his destiny, and that anybody who steps in the ring with him can beat him. He says he could beat Owens and Sammy. And he ends up saying Dolph Ziggler is not phenomenal. Baron Corbin comes out, says to AJ that that he thinks he can beat him, and he stopped AJ. He stopped Styles from making a fool out of himself because Styles was probably gonna say I could beat Corbin, and Corbin ends up saying that he beat Styles for the U.S. title and also beat him in the rematch. Corbin says he's going to enjoy pinning him for the WWE title, or he's going to pin someone else, and that he will be the new WWE champion. Owens ends up coming out saying that he's sick of hearing the both of them, and that the one that's going to go through the announce table is Styles, because Styles says, "Oh, I could put Owens through a table." So, but Owens ends up saying Styles is going to go through the announce table when he hits Styles with a pop-up powerbomb. Corbin calls Owens a punk, and Owens ends up saying to Corbin that Corbin doesn't belong anywhere near the WWE title, and he says he had to get many opportunities to get to, the WWE title, to get to have a match for the WWE title. And, Owens says, Shane wants to catch him off guard. And then that's, Shane ends up coming out. He ends up making a match for, tonight. It's going to be Baron Corbin versus Styles versus AJ Styles. And he also makes a match which happens next, which was Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler, and that pretty much ended the whole segment. Pretty meh opening segment to SmackDown. So, and then we had the match, Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler. Was okay match. Wasn't great or perfect by any means though. Ziggler was fine in the match. Owens was okay. One point towards the end of the match, you had Sami Zayn come out. Sami Zayn ended up distracting Dolph, which gave Owens to hit a super kick to Dolph's head, in the back of Dolph's head, to score the win. And so Kevin Owens won the match due to Sami Zayn interfering, distracting Dolph. So, but all in all, it was an okay match. Not wasn't great or anything. And then we had Jinder Mahal was out there saying, he found the discovery, and that the crowd, the WWE Universe, is going to be in for a rude awakening. and he reveals Bobby Roode's top 10 superstar list, and that, he goes on to say, oh, Bobby Roode voted himself #1, and he ends up calling Bobby Roode egotistic maniac. And then Bobby Roode ends up coming out and says to Jinder that, it wasn't his list, and that, he has to tell, Jinder a secret. And the secret was, that Jinder Mahal can't make a top 10 list. And he tells Jinder that if he's in a fair fight, he can't win. Jinder ends up saying to Bobby Roode, does he think, he's better than, does, Bobby Roode think he's better than Orton? Roode says, he never said that. And Jinder Mahal ends up telling Bobby Roode, is he scared of Orton? And he says, he's not scared of Jinder. I mean, he's not scared of, he's not scared of Jinder, is what Bobby Roode said. And Bobby Roode ends up telling Jinder, forget about Orton. Because all Jinder Mahal has been saying is, to Bobby Roode, oh, is all about Orton. Because just, Bobby Roode ends up saying, this is between me and you. And then Orton comes out, and Orton ends up talking trash to Bobby Roode. You couldn't hear it, though, because it was not on mic. And then Orton ends up hitting Jinder. And also, Roode also hits Jinder also. We see Orton go for the RKO on Bobby Roode, but Roode ended up reversing it. Hits Orton with the glorious DDT. And then Jinder Mahal comes back in and hits the Colossus on Bobby Roode. So it was pretty much another meh segment. Just the same shit with Jinder Mahal saying to Bobby Roode, oh, with Orton and all like that. So that's what it pretty much is. Then we had Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon backstage. Daniel ends up saying Bobby Roode should defend his U.S. title against Jinder Mahal at Fastlane. Shane says Orton should take on Bobby Roode at Fastlane. So Daniel Bryan and Shane are still, in this, battle. So, not liking each other's decisions. So it's just that little backstage segment with them both. And then it was the Riott Squad versus Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Naomi. Same old shit. Typical women's match. Nothing special, nothing great about it. You've seen it before. Riott Squad ended up winning the match with Ruby Riott hitting the Riott kick on Becky to score the win. So, the Riott Squad needed this win because, Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan both lost to Charlotte. So, they needed this win. So, but wasn't anything special. It was the same old shit that we see, week in and week out with them. So, typical women's match. And then we see Owens and Sammy backstage. Sammy says, thanks. He thanks Owens, and he ends up saying to him that, he owes him, and he wants to be Owens' guardian angel, and he, to pay him back for what, to pay Owens back for what he's done with Sammy, what he's done for Sammy. And he says that both of them are powerful than any of the other competitors in the Fatal 5-Way. It's just that little backstage segment with Owens and Sammy. Then we had New Day versus Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. Another match that we've seen week in and every other, every week. Just same old, same old. For New Day, it was Big E and Xavier Woods taking on Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, while Kofi Kingston was outside. Pretty much, typical match that we see, every week with them. But New Day ended up getting the win. Xavier hit the Shining Wizard on Shelton Benjamin to score the win. So, all in all, match, we've seen it before. It was nothing new. And then we have another match that we see every week. Bludgeon Brothers versus local jobbers. Typical squash match, like always with the Bludgeon Brothers. Just them building them up, and like this. Their first rivalry is going to be with the Usos. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. But this match, Bludgeon Brothers versus these jobbers, it was all outside. Harper and Rowan just taking out these jobbers outside. Put them back. They put them both back in the ring and just laid them out with their finishers. So, typical squash match. Then we had the main event, AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin. Match was not that good, in my opinion. And Styles, was trying to keep down Corbin, but Styles ended up winning the match with the phenomenal forearm to Baron Corbin. You had one point in the match where Corbin ended up hitting the deep six. One of his moves on Styles. Styles ends up kicking out of that. So, but Styles ended up winning with the phenomenal forearm to Corbin. So, not that good of a match. Not that good of a main event, in my opinion. Then you had, after the match, Owens and Sami ended up coming down. They beat it up on Styles. Corbin ends up getting up, and he hits the end of days on both Owens and Sami to end SmackDown. So to end a shitty SmackDown tonight. And then we had the mixed match challenge match, which this match was the last match of the first round of this mixed match challenge. And it was Bobby Roode and Charlotte versus Apollo and Nia Jax. And from what I heard, the reason why they dropped Apollo Crews, the last name Crews for Apollo, is because one of the shooters that was in the Florida school shooting, his last name was Crews, and so probably Vince decided to drop Apollo's last name, not use it because of that. So it was a little insider news about why they dropped the Crews from Apollo. So, but yeah, mixed match challenge: Bobby Roode and Charlotte versus Apollo and Nia Jax. This match was decent. This match was pretty much better than any of the matches that were on SmackDown tonight. It was just back and forth between them. I like the pairing of Bobby Roode and Charlotte. I think they made a good team. We had Titus and Dana Brooke down there. Dana was interfering in parts of the match, and Nia actually screamed at her a little screamed at her a little bit, saying, stay out of it. But in the end, Bobby Roode and Charlotte got the win. Bobby Roode ended up hitting the glorious DDT on Apollo. And so Bobby Roode and Charlotte move on. And after the match, you had Nia Jax getting on the mic. And she was, pissed off at Titus and Dana Brooke because she said, oh, when me and Apollo were training, yous were, interfering in the training. And you interfered in the match tonight, with Dana. And, Dana Brooke, was interfering, and also Titus. And you had Nia Jax ended up pushing Titus. And then she ended up taking Dana Brooke, and she gave Dana Brooke a Samoan drop. And so that pretty much ended the mixed match challenge. But, we just saw Apollo, go up the ramp. He wasn't, with, he wasn't, he didn't want to be with Titus and Dana Brooke there. So he just, walked up the ramp. And so next week starts the quarterfinals of the mixed match challenge. And next week's match, it's going to be Finn Balor and Sasha Banks versus The Miz and Asuka. So that's going to be interesting to see. We saw Sasha and Asuka go at it 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago, and that was one of the best matches of that Raw, from where that match was on. So it looks like we're going to see Sasha and Asuka go at it again. So, but yeah, the mixed match challenge match, Bobby Roode and Charlotte versus Apollo and Nia, was a decent match. It was better than any match. Like I said, it was better than any match that was on SmackDown tonight. So, but yeah. So, anyways, that's it for my review of tonight's edition of SmackDown, and also the mixed match challenge review. Thank you all for watching, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and until the next video, I'll see you all later.